Okay, so hello and welcome to yet another Gaming Masters video. Today I'm going to be going over the future of the Battlefield franchise. At the moment I have some Battlefield 3 Nostra Canals gameplay running in the background, and I'm going to be talking about the future of the whole franchise. So, not just what's the next Battlefield title gonna be, I'm going to be talking about the future of Battlefield 4, the future of Battlefield Hardline, and what the next title may be. So, let's get started on the future of Battlefield 4. Now, I do actually have a very good reason to be having a video right now playing on Nostra Canals. At the moment on CTE we do actually have a map called Dragon Valley, which has been remade into a Battlefield 4 map from the previous title Battlefield 2, which was out in 2005. And Dragon Valley is a very open, has a lot of objectives, and is a very good map, but it is very big in comparison to all of our latest titles, which have had, in many respects, too much of a small map. It feels like it's gone over to the kind of Call of Duty style of small, compact, close quarters, infantry maps, compared to the usual, which most Battlefield fans look for, which is open warfare, tanks, jets, helicopters, etc. You can't do that in Call of Duty because of the close quarters infantry combat orientated battles, and it's a real shame that the maps seem to have been getting smaller. They're not as open, you're restricted from playing some of the game modes and some of the vehicles on them because they're so small. Now, Battlefield 3, they felt like fairly decent sized maps. They weren't as big as Battlefield 2, but they were definitely fairly decently sized maps, and Battlefield 4 has a few decent open maps as well. So, in many respects, Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, even though they're not as big as Battlefield 2's maps, they're fairly big and open spaced. Battlefield Hardline, however, the maps are fairly small. They're compact, they're infantry focused, and I find that a real shame because I really did miss the infantry combat that we had in, the vehicular combat in Battlefield 3 and bits of Battlefield 4. Now, in the Dragon Valley map, which has been put on the CCE for the moment, is kind of like a classic map project that they're currently running on the CCE. They've got several TDM zones for this one map, so that they said that there is one by the docks, which reminds you very much of the Nostra Canals TDM kind of feel. So it's going to be close quarters, it's going to be infantry, obviously, because it's team deathmatch, and then there are other zones as well, which adds a lot of variety to your gameplay. Now, there might be a problem with every server that runs Dragon Valley on the full launch of it. It's only going to be playing the Nostra Canals kind of theme. Now, we might be having other maps remade for Battlefield 4. We have no idea about that at the moment, and we'll just have to wait and see for what DICE LA do. I really do hope that they actually have some more maps, because we have 4 in the second Assault DLC, and they're not really the kind of maps that we wanted. Operation Metro, Gulf of Oman, Operation Firestorm, and also Caspian Border. Those ones are remastered. I kind of understand Operation Metro, but the other ones, that's not really, in my opinion, what the community wanted. Obviously, there are going to be fans of those maps, but Gulf of Oman, the Levolution, in my opinion, has ruined it, with the Cloud Storm coming in. And then the other maps, yeah, I'm okay with. Operation Firestorm, not too fussed about that one. Hopefully they will be having more maps added though, because it would definitely extend the lifespan of Battlefield 4, with the Battlefield Hardline not doing particularly well on PC. Now, over to Battlefield Hardline, we've obviously got the DLCs coming. They've really got to do something for the future, for the Battlefield Hardline players on PC, to try and boost the player numbers. They've exceeded the sales that they wanted on console, but they didn't manage to keep up the people playing on PC, so it's pretty much died on PC. I mean, recently it's had about, I would say about 500 players at a time. I'm not particularly sure on what the player numbers actually are, but I know that they're a lot lower than console. At the moment, obviously I've got the DLC, there are players still in the servers, but not as many. And CCE is completely dead for Battlefield Hardline. It's doing really well on Battlefield 4, but is dead on CCE. If you find one player in a server for Hardline CCE, you're in luck. I mean, they're empty. They can't test things properly because there's no players there. They've really got to do something to try and pull the PC player base back to the game. I mean, we've obviously got the DLCs. We've got the what was it? There was a premium thing, like with customization of guns and stuff like that. That's still not in the game. The premium ladders for competitive gameplay, that's still not in. It's missing the features that we were promised, and I have a slight feeling that those features were more for the PC player base, but they're not in the game, so the PC players aren't playing, and there isn't enough content that focuses on the original style of the Battlefield franchise. So the PC players, the real PC Battlefield veterans and players that really love the franchise and have played it since the beginning, don't really have much content that they want in the game, so they're not playing it as much. So they've really got to expand the Battlefield 4 life cycle and bring more maps, bring more variety, bring more guns, etc. to actually be able to keep the franchise going on PC. And I would even possibly suggest that they do something with Battlefield 3. I mean, Battlefield 3, okay, it's an old game, but the servers are more populated sometimes even than Battlefield 4 are at one point. And it's a shame that they're not doing anything new for Battlefield 3. It's just been left in the corner. It's still a very popular game, and there's just not many people having extra content coming for it. And if there hasn't been any extra content since Battlefield 4's launch, so if they brought something to Battlefield 3, okay, it would take some time for them to bring some extra content to a fairly old game, it would still relies on the player base, at least on PC, even if it's a PC exclusive, even if it's just a patch with some fixes for bugs that have been in the game since the last patch when the DLC was launched. We'll just have to wait and see with what they actually do. Now, the other thing that I've got to talk about is the complete future of the Battlefield title. What is going to be the next Battlefield title? We obviously have Bad Company 3 that people want. We have people that want Battlefield 5. We have people that want Battlefield 2143. Now, today there's been a leak going around on Twitter that Battlefield 2143 is actually in the works. And I don't believe that leak with screenshots is actually legitimate. I doubt that it will be. It seems to have been a kind of photoshopped kind of piece of photographic so-called evidence that people have obviously edited together. It doesn't look particularly legitimate. I can be proven wrong. There is no official confirmation of this title. nor any of the other Battlefield titles that we're currently talking about. Obviously, there will be another Battlefield title. It's pretty much guaranteed because the franchise is doing strong. Not as strong on Battlefield Hardline, but Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3 is still going very, very well, and I think that EA would be stupid if they did actually stop the franchise. So it's pretty much guaranteed that we'll have another Battlefield title at some point, and they've also confirmed that there will be one next year in fall 2016. So it's a toss-up between Bad Company 3, Battlefield 5, and this kind of like new player in the leaks and kind of stuff of 2143. Personally, I would like Bad Company 3 or Battlefield 5. Bad Company 2 did extremely well. It was very well designed. A lot of players go back to that title as starting time for when they started to play Battlefield and when they really enjoyed the franchise, and it was kind of the peak of the franchise, I would say. And if they didn't actually have a Bad Company 3 title in the next 2 or 3 years, I would say that it's probably not going to be good for EA, because it's what the fans want, and if they don't have it coming soon, or they don't have something similar to Bad Company, I think that not many players are going to be particularly interested anymore, because Bad Company was more at Battlefield's roots. It had the vehicular combat, it had the open maps, it was very well done in map design, it had a fairly decent launch, and it was a real Battlefield game. And I really do hope that we do have a Battlefield Bad Company 3. Now, as we move on to another section of gameplay, I really do think that if they did do something like Battlefield 5, it has to be a real change in the gameplay style, because Battlefield 5, it's not going to be the same as Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 5 and Battlefield 4, because it has to be a next-gen only title. Whatever happens, the next Battlefield has to be next-gen only. They can't afford to make another one for Xbox 360 and PS3. So it would have to be next-gen only. And it would definitely bring the player base back if they had a Bad Company 3. But I don't think that it's time for another Battlefield 5. It's pretty much guaranteed we won't have another Battlefield Hardline, because it needs to be changed a hell of a lot. Or they won't even do it, because it's a kind of spin-off, I agree, but it's just not done as well as it could have done. We've got to just wait and see for what they do. We didn't have a trailer at E3. A lot of rumours days and hours before the EA press conference were, we're going to have a like mini reveal trailer kind of thing, and we didn't. I think that if we do have anything this year, it would obviously be at Gamescom, which is in August, and it's not too far away, but I, for some reason, don't particularly think that they will do that, bearing in mind titles that have been revealed years in advance keep on getting delayed. They've got to wait for the actual time to pass and let the actual game be nearer to being finished. They'll probably get more sales from announcing it at E3 2016 than they would revealing it at Gamescom this year, or at some point this year, because the game would be nearer to being finished. It would be its fully full content that will be coming in the title. There won't be any like glitches. It wouldn't be like downscaled, etc., or made have features removed and things like that, which quite a few titles have had, and it would hopefully pretty much guaranteed to not be delayed. So we'll just have to wait and see for what the next title is. I doubt it'll be Visceral making this game. It's pretty much guaranteed to be DICE. Hopefully it would be a new Frostbite engine. I really do want a new engine. Okay, Battlefield 4 has a new engine, but I really do hope we have another one with the next Battlefield title. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, follow, and of course, as always, subscribe. We've got quite a lot of PC gameplay coming up on the channel, so do stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.